And then, so you said you came into honors, you just came into it, you didn't necessarily know what you wanted to do, and then masters. I mean, you have to decide to do a master's.
Yes, okay. With my honors project that I started, so I was looking at the temperature record for Volksras, Bakkerstroom. So it's part of the Nkangala grasslands. And then my supervisor came up with like, okay, now we have this record. Now we need to use this data to study the grasslands. So I was already working there, and there was already like a project that like, okay, this is what I would like you to do going forward. Would you like to do it? I was like, oh, this is great because this is like interesting work. No one has done.
And you enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. No one had done that in South Africa. No one had actually analyzed that part of the country, South Africa. So it's always nice being the first person to do things.
Not necessarily the easiest thing to do.
It's not the easiest thing
the first
because
one to do it.
You just realize why no one has ever done it. Actually.
Yeah.
But yes, that's how I actually did my masters. So I think it was actually easier to choose a masters, over my honors and all the other things. So that's probably that was the simplest decision I had to make.
Because it was like, I like this, why not?
Yes. And like I was sold now.
And then, so what are you doing now?
Okay, so
like for your PhD.
So now I must explain my project. Like in 2 seconds.
In very simple terms that I can understand.
So basically, the name of the project is the origins of wet-dry seasonality in Africa. So basically, we're trying to figure out what caused wet-dry seasonality in Africa. So wet-dry seasonality, I can say, it's rainfall seasonality. So when it rains and when it doesn't. So we have a wet season and a dry season, right? So if you go back in time, like millions and millions years ago, the Earth used to have like it was just raining all year round. So like it was one climate, it was aseasonal. There was no wet season, there was no dry season, right? Then something happened, like about 10, more than the Miocene from like 23 million years to like 5 million years ago. Something happened in that period where now we started having these seasonal systems that emerged. So that's one of the things that we're trying to look at. So like how we're doing it, we're looking at traits. So we're looking at traits of seasonality that plants or animals have. So like for example, like trees drop their leaves when it's dry. So we're trying to see like when did that trait come about? Is it the result of all of that? Is it the result of the spread of grasslands? Because if you look at the Earth, it used to be one big super planet, and then it split, and that also changed the ocean circulation and how rain falls and all of that kind of stuff. So in a nutshell, that's what it is. There's a lot of things under that, but like that's hopefully that makes sense. That made sense, right?
It did.
Did you understand it?
I hope they did. I understood that. So it was easy going from an honors to a master's.
Yes.
You just explained your PhD project.
Yes.
What you're working on.
Yes.
How did you decide to do a PhD?
I took a break. I took a break after masters. I took a break after masters. Actually, I went to work.
Would you advise that?
Yes, I actually would advise that. I went to work because like after my masters, I was like drained. Like I was tired. I just wanted something else. And then like this opportunity came up, to go work with education department, science engagement. That was actually a nice welcome change to work with high school kids and try and promote environmental science. So promote environmental science to them as an alternative career option, because I think most of us end up in environmental science didn't have this option. That like they always focus on maths and physics, but they kind of forget like if you're not good at maths and physics, you can do this as well.
They fall into environmental sciences as sort of a last resort, and as soon as they're here, they just want to get their degree and change and do what they wanted to do, because they're like, I mean, I'm not gonna stay home because I didn't get into the course I wanted.
No, I'm just gonna do this thing. Yeah.
And then how did you from taking a break, you come to PhD?
Okay, I still have to finish the story, the whole science engagement thing, because I think that's where, that's where that actually changed my life. I like a lot. It changed my life because working with the kids, I actually got to understand. I saw myself in them first and foremost. Like you can see that like the people, they don't know what they're doing. Then when you do environmental science, you show them all the kind of stuff that we do. So we used to take them out for camps, and they do the kind of field work that we would do in second year. So like all those transects and all that, those kids already know how to do it in grade 9, 10, 11. They already know how to do that. And that in itself, I saw that there's actually a gap here, because we're using real science that is produced by scientists, so that is produced by SEON, the organization, to teach them. So we actually doing things that people are doing in the field, so actual research, and we bring it into the classroom. And then I just saw that, like, okay, why can't I be the one producing the research? Because it's nice to like be the one implementing like what other people are doing, but then at the same time I feel like I can actually contribute to this. And I've always been one to, I don't know, I like things. I can say I like things because
your own version.
The other
of
thing
things.
is I realized that like, okay, I can do the science engagement thing, but I don't think I would be able to do it as a career, but I can do it as part of my career while doing something else.
Yeah.
So the science engagement thing, I can continue doing it now, even while I'm doing my PhD. Okay. I do try to share my science with as many people as I can. But like I didn't want that to be the main job, because I feel like I would get bored of that, because that job comes with the admin. Working with the kids is fun, but like the admin side of it is not so great, and that's not something I enjoy. And I'm not a 9-to-5 person. I love my sleep.
Like on that note, we have I think 4 minutes left. What are you planning to do after your PhD, given you're not a 9-to-5 person?
Oof. Yo, I don't know. Like, I honestly don't know. Like, that's a very difficult question. I don't know.
Okay, put it in another way. What are you looking most forward to in the future?
In the future?
Do you have anything you're looking
Running my
forward
own lab, actually. Okay. Like, okay, so, like I said earlier, right, this field is very white dominated, and there are not too many black people in that particular field. So I would like to be one of the, I don't want to say first, because there are other black people, but like to add to that, so that at least when people are coming up, they see that there's someone we can look up to, and show them that like you can actually do this. Yes, maths and physics and chemistry, those are important, and there are a lot of black people in those fields, but like there's also this other career option as well, where you can make a contribution and actually contribute to the world. And yes, I would like to run my own lab at some point, like be a professor somewhere.
So what would you advise somebody who is maybe thinking of doing it but they're not really sure, or somebody who is in this field but they don't necessarily know where they're going? What advice would you give them? Okay,
so someone in high school, I'll just say do what you would like to do. Like don't be limited. Just try out as many things as possible. Like do everything that you can, and you will realize that you will find your way. You'll find a way somewhere. So for someone in high school, just do what you like to do. Just try everything. Just be sure, because like I think it's very difficult to be sure about what you want to do.
Yeah.
Just try everything out and see what is for you. And then if this is for you now, when you actually take it in undergrad or anything like that, try and speak. Okay, another thing I would like to mention, try and speak to people that are ahead of you, because those are people that can help you. Okay, sometimes it can discourage you, but those are some of the people that can actually give you advice as to what you can do. Like
basically, if you ask somebody for like advice who's in this field, don't just ask one person.
Come to me guys, come to me. I'll give you a very objective opinion.
I hope. And it's not just do science.
Now what are you saying? Like,
I mean, you have to pros and cons.
No, but you were one of my students, guys. She was one of my students. Can you believe this? You're one of my students. You know this. You have seen how I've explained things to everyone else.
That's true. Last question. I like this question. If you knew then what you know now about environmental sciences, would you still have gone into it?
Yes.
Why?
I would have. I would actually probably would have gone into it from the start. So like I wouldn't have had my long winding journey. Even though I feel like my long winding journey is what helped me to be who I am now. But I would have been able to make much better decisions. Like I said, some of the stuff I'm doing for my PhD now, I have to learn. I have to learn it again now. But it's stuff I could have done in undergrad. If I had known like that this is where I'm going to end up, I would have taken geography instead of chemistry. Even the other courses that I chose during my undergrad career, like I enjoyed animal behavior, one of the best courses I've ever done, but like it's not really something that's working out for me right now. I could have done something else that would have been more beneficial. So yes, I would definitely do it. Yeah, with more conviction, like not just like stumble my way upon it.
Nice. Thank you, Mtho, for being
guys.
part of this video.
Thank you guys.
And tune in, guys.